Adam and Bob, you know what you both try to do can keep you here for a really long time. However, I'm willing to offer you a deal. If you testify against the other, you get 1 more year and he gets 5. If you both testify, you both get 3 years. And if you each stay silent and preserve your friendship, you each get 2 years. You have till the end of the day to decide. Oh, and one more thing. I gave the exact same offer to your fellow.
What did I drag myself into? I wonder what will he do?
The best case scenario for both of us is that we both choose to stay silent.
Can I even trust this guy? He tried to kill someone. We're all criminals here.
If I talk and he's stupid enough not to, all of this is only going to cost me 1 more year.
But if he's not stupid, then I'm going to stay for 3. That's better than risking 5 more years if I don't snitch and he betrays me.
Yeah, I'm gonna get 3 years if you both end up talking.
But I can only do worse if I stay silent, without any insurance
that he'll do the same.
That was a nice story. Sad though that they ended up in jail with more time than they could have done. But why do I care about such a situation, which is extremely unlikely to happen in reality? Well, as an engineer, I need to build a highway, and I need to know if it will be useful or not to build this highway because there's money, planning, and effort ahead. And it turns out that this is an extremely related problem. Let's find out together how. Let's have a look at this scenario where we have 2 distinguished ways, P1 and P2, that link the source S to the destination D via 2 points. Let's call them A and B. And each way takes a certain amount of time that depends also on the amount of cars that will take this path. For simplicity, let's say that going from S to A and B to D takes 30 minutes per car, and from A to D and S to B takes 1 hour per car. For example, if we look at the path SA, if 1 car goes through it, it will take half an hour, and if 2 cars go through it, it will take 1 hour for each car to arrive, and so on and so forth. Now, if we have 1 car on the road, it will certainly choose either way because it does not matter. The second car will choose the other way because then it takes less time, and so on. Now if I want to build a highway from A to B, which takes 15 minutes to cross, if there is only 1 car, it will obviously drive through the road SABD, which will take 1 hour 15 instead of 1 hour and a half in total. However, when a second car is introduced, the situation changes completely. Let's suppose we have 2 drivers that have full knowledge about the situation, and of course they are also capable of analyzing it and logically. Driver 1 decides to drive through the shortest path SABD, which would take 1 hour 15 if he was alone. Now car 2 has 3 options: SAD, SBD and SABD. It would take 2 hours for SAD because car 2 shares SA with car 1, and accordingly car 1 path would now take 1 hour 45 instead of 1 hour 15. If it chooses SBD, car 2 will share half of BD with car 1 and it would take 1 hour 45, and respectively car 1 path SABD would take 1 hour 30. And finally, if car 2 chooses to take the same path as car 1, then they would both take 2 hours 15. In all the cases, no matter what the choice of car 2 is, car 1 is better off taking the SABD path. The problem is that car 2 would think the same and would take also the path SABD. And then they would end up in the worst situation of 2 hours 15 of traffic. Exactly like previously with the prisoners, where they betrayed each other and served more years just because they did not cooperate and didn't trust each other. This is called the Nash equilibrium because this is the point where each player in the game will keep his strategy no matter what the others do. Now, the idea of this simple model was to show you that people behaving in a non-cooperative way in a game usually end up in the so-called Nash equilibrium, and that this equilibrium is also usually not the optimal solution the players in the system can do, like in the prisoner's case or in this traffic example. Now, people can use this notion to study different systems, and actually they could predict somehow the behavior of the players if they do not cooperate, and based on that take important decisions that could save some money, such as building a new highway or not.